I swear to God, I need to, like, reprogram, like, my page up key to be with the E with the accent, because Streamlabs absolutely abhors the fact that there could potentially be an E with an accent on top of it in their game's fucking thing. It's so annoying. I don't want to have to search Pokemon games by only typing in POK. Okay? It just sucks. I want to just be able to type Pokemon Fire Red, but you can't. You can't. It's not allowed. Alright. So, we did a little bit of grinding. That way, you know, you didn't have to tolerate all of that. So everyone's 35, except for Bonky. Bonky we added preemptively here because I got something prepared for the Psychic-type gym that is incredibly frail, and I don't want it to die until it's time. So, Obero is also level 35. They're sitting in the box. Yeah, so they are also there. So now that we are having new Pokemon, we're going to teach Juicebox 2 new moves. Namely, we want to get rid of Takedown for Dig, because, you know, variety in moves is better. And then because I horrifically and violently beat up a bunch of bikers repeatedly, I maxed out my money, so I was able to buy this TM for Flamethrower. Thank you, Amulet Coin. We love the Amulet Coin here. And because they now know Flamethrower, it means they no longer have to be Puppy. I mean, they'll still be Puppy, they'll just be a big puppy now, so. We can give them the Firestone and evolve them. Dog. Big dog. I love abusing the Grand Underground. I have like 5 Firestones. I hate the Grand Underground. I hate the Grand Underground with my life. Trying to find a fossil in that bitch is ridiculous, and I hate it. I hate it so much. It is the worst. Arcanine. Honestly, given average use, how I've been doing this, it's not that bad getting TMs at, I'm a rat, of course I like digging in goddamn tunnels, that's fair. It's honestly not been that bad, getting TMs through, gambling. It's not ideal, I still don't like it, but, yeah. I still think, having TMs be infinite use is a much better course of action just for gameplay variety. But I also see how, you know, the games have evolved in different ways where having extremely powerful moves was genuinely something you had to work towards, especially on evolved Pokemon. I understand why they designed it like this in previous games to make it more difficult, having to put more time and energy in. Does that mean I like it? No. But I understand it. I feel like limited use would be reasonable, like you can use it a few times. Here's the thing, I think limited use, the way they did it in Sword and Shield was really well, where you got rewarded with, like, oh, you do a raid battle, and you get, like, 5, they were called TRs, they were records, and they would be, like, limited uses. And it was like, oh, you get 5 of this move for beating this boss, essentially. I'm like, that actually makes sense, because it's repeatable, you can get more of them, and it's a reward for doing something well. Like, it makes sense, and it sucks that they didn't bring that concept back. The entirety of Sword and Shield is removed from my memory. Yeah, that's not... Not uncommon, it happened to me too. I never caught the box legendaries in Sword and Shield. I beat the campaign, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm done. I think I'm good with this one. I think I have completed all that I care for. Because at that point, I was like, this is stupid. This is not ideal. Like, I was not having fun towards the end of that, unfortunately. Like, it's just how it is. Alright, so... It's been so long since I did this properly. I don't remember the proper way to, like, skip through everything here. Besides, I was gonna fight all the people in here, to be perfectly honest. I meant to hit Flamethrower on you. Wow, you almost died to a surf. That's terrible. I didn't complete the campaign, I just goddamn gave up at the fairy gym, I think. That's fair, I think. I don't think that's unreasonable. I think the fairy gym was it was a little bullshit. Just a little. I forget which gym it was, but there was one gym I was doing in my Sword and Shield, Nuzlockin, that, like, I just randomly died in, something died in, like, the middle of playing, and I was like, huh? That doesn't even make sense. Like, it was just like, oh, okay. Pokemon runs entirely on vibes. If there's none, you're fucked. Yes, and what's fucked up is I can tell you exactly the moment that I was, like, the most engaged in Sword and Shield, and is the shortest part of the game. It is the goddamn mushroom forest with glowing mushrooms, and I was like, damn, you know, it would be really cool if instead of just being modern, ugly-ass fucking England, just entirely gray and stupid and cold and nothing with a barren landscape of absolutely nothing other than racism, it would be like, man, it would be really cool if, like, we were in, like, if we were in, like, a period piece, or, like, based off of, like, fantasy Europe. You know, it's like, oh, these, like, little, like, German-designed houses with mushrooms all over it, designed to look like a gnome village or something. That would be really cool, and it would allow you to have different eras of Pokemon, you know. You could have, like, the ancestors of Pokemon like you had with, like, the Paradox Pokemon, and, like, Arthurian legend-based. Yeah, you can have, like, all these ancestors to Pokemon. You could have, like, you could have limited Pokemon variety because you have a reasonable reason to, like, not be, like, you know, you're not just, like, what's it called? Like, you're stuck in a period where it's just like, alright, some Pokemon don't exist yet. So what you're asking for is a Legends Arceus kind of, but with regular gameplay? Yeah, pretty much. Legends Arceus had a good idea, but they did nothing with the aesthetic, and the gameplay is mediocre at best. And I think Legends Arceus would work fine enough if you controlled the Pokemon themselves. I don't see a reason why you have to control the trainer instead of the Pokemon. I think that is incredibly stupid. Like, it doesn't work for me. That's my opinions on Legends Arceus. I don't think that, like, it had a very good concept, but none of it, absolutely none of it, is used appropriately. The only thing that they did sort of well was introduce ancestors of different Pokemon characters and Pokemon themselves. I think that is a smart idea, but they didn't do it enough. Vibes of Arceus are good, the gameplay is just fucking boring by the time you get to the third? It was boring by the time you got to the second! Like, Hisuian Sneasel. I love Hisuian Sneasel. He's just a little purple. It's literally just Sneasel, but purple. It's one of the dumbest designed Pokemon of all time, but I love it. Purple guy! Hold on, can we get a Markiplier in the corner? A Markiplier reaction? Hold on. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Considering Sneasels eat the eggs of other Pokemon, they are the man behind the slaughter. Do they do that? Is that canonical Sneasel lore? Huh. I didn't know that. You're telling me this for the first time. Where's the damn key again? I completely forget where this flippin' key is. No, that's taking up too much of the gameplay spot. That's the wrong direction. Not quite. There we are. Perfect. One of the more reasonable entries, so I choose to believe it. Yeah, that sounds normal. Australian Markiplier. It's Iron Lung 2. Now it's in Australia. Honestly, Australia could have a lake of blood and no one would notice. Isn't that like a thing? Like, isn't there like a river that's like known as like the River of Blood because like it has like some sort of algae content that like when it oxidizes it like turns like a blood red? I think that's in Alaska. I meant just like in general. I'm not specifically saying it was in Australia, but I believe it's iron. Oh, it might be an iron oxide thing. Oh yeah, that's a different thing. I'm thinking of like algae. I'm pretty sure it's in Africa. Like the one that's like all iron deposits in like northern territories. That's just because there's high concentrates of iron in icebergs and stuff that melt. So it's like bleeding icebergs essentially, which is really cool. It's a very cool thing to say, bleeding icebergs, but that is a slightly different thing than what I was personally thinking. But yes, you are correct. That is another thing. There is one that's like a river runs red because it has, like, algae that's, like, evil, fucked up algae, where instead of having green for its chlorophyll, it's red for some reason. He's red for an amazing reason. Too many blood rivers? Not enough. I haven't seen one personally, so, like, I don't know, I think we gotta have more. I mean, like, what's the harm in it? It is a little bit of blood. Listen, there's a lot of things fucked up about the ocean. The ocean is one of the most evil and fucked up places on Earth. Like, just, like, there's so much. And it's all bad. Like, it's all evil. You go 3 feet down in the ocean, and you're seeing shit that, like, you understand why people assume, oh, there's, like, monsters and demons in this shit. That you're like, I see why people believed in dragons. It's like, yeah, no, there is something evil below the surface. There is something truly evil out there, and it's in the ocean. Especially Australian Ocean. I mean, Australia has both... No, they have... Which sides of the ocean do they have? Do they have the... I know they have the Pacific. Are they in a position where they can... Do they have the Indian Ocean next to them as well? Like, spatially, or are they entirely in the Pacific? I don't actually know this. Australian Ocean has 7 different species that can flatline you in 17 minutes. That's the ocean! Jellyfish, sharks, other more dangerous jellyfish, stingrays. Like, there is everything in the ocean is evil and wants to kill you, other than the manatee. The manatee is like the one animal that exists in the ocean that is not inherently evil. I'm gonna be real, I'm not the person to ask geography. Yeah, we're both American. None of us know shit from fuck. Like, we don't know what places are. I recently found out that a country that I assumed was in South America was actually in Europe this entire time. And I'm not gonna talk about which one. Okay, there's the card key. That's what I was looking for. Thing about the Australian species, they are all very small, extremely painful neurotoxin. Ah, yes, like the little octopi guy who's adorable, that has like 27 different neurotoxins that will kill you instantaneously. Like, okay, I don't want to have to hand it to the British, but like, an entire country and like continent where every animal wants to kill you. Like, that does make sense to send all of your prisoners to, I guess. Like, how the fuck... I have no idea how, like, of course, Australia has indigenous peoples, and, you know, like, they live there forever, and they still, like, have claims to land that was never, like, properly, like, you know... There were no treaties, there were nothing, they just got their land stolen. Like, and I'm just like, How the fuck did anyone survive on this continent? It genuinely baffles the mind with the bullshit that Australia is throwing at them constantly. How do you survive in a place where you have spiders that can kill you instantaneously, you have horrific heat waves that, like, completely kill, like, crops and droughts and such? It's like, it seems like such an inhospitable area. How are you still here? It doesn't make sense. The deer on fucking steroids. That's, to be fair, that's just what everyone said when they saw a moose for the first time. The moose is another animal that is inherently evil. The moose is, like, them shits can swim in the ocean for way longer than you would think. Moose are like, I forget which direction it is. I'm pretty sure the only natural predator of the moose is fucking orcas. Because meese swim across large gaps where there are orcas. And then they will just eat this giant fucking creature the size of a fucking car. Kangaroos are out for violence. That makes sense. Kangaroos are a lot like large rabbits. And that's the thing about rabbits, is that they are full of violence. Like, they are incredibly small animals for having that much violence within their hearts. I wouldn't say that, like, all rabbits are evil. You know, you got, like, Bunnicula. Bunnicula's evil. But, like, no, like, most rabbits just, they want violence. They do. They also show love through violence. They're a lot like cats, but a lot of the time, rabbits also just want to inflict pain. But a lot of that might be because, you know, people don't know how to care for rabbits properly, so they end up, like, lashing out through hostility. I like rabbits, though. Whenever I come across a rabbit in the wild, it's always fun. They're like, ah, cool, it's a rabbit. And then you leave it alone, because it's a wild animal that can kill you. All wild animals can kill you, that's the thing about it. Some of them might be a little bit more difficult than others, but they can. It's the Chihuahua type shit. Smaller the creature, the more violence, that's true. Sure. Oh. Thunderwave is convenient, but I would have preferred if you had, like, a TM for it. All I'm saying is we currently have zero proof that, like, multiple Pokemon do not exist in Australia. I feel like a rabbit would have to try hard to kill me in a one-on-one. Rabies! You're gone! Like, if you see a mammal, it probably has rabies, or has the ability to have rabies. So you don't fuck with that. You don't fuck with any mammal. It's not worth it. Plus, do you not remember what the fuck Springtrap is? That motherfucker's a rabbit. If I had a rabbit, I would get the shot. But it's not how it works. That's not how it works. Not a rabbit, that's a British man. He's from Utah! He's not British. He's just gay and evil. I know it's very difficult to tell. Why does he sound... He's gay and evil. That's why he sounds British. Think about it. Like, have you never been, like, listening to a British person, and you're like, are they, you know... You know? You know. Depends on the regional accent. That's true. Maybe there's, in the FNAF universe, there's just a region in Utah where people sound like that for some reason. I'm not Scott Cawthon. I don't have $57 billion and a movie trilogy. To be fair, that universe is missing continents. That's true. Canonically, bears have gone extinct in the FNAF universe, too. Do you want to do the hardest fight in the game right now? Like, usually I try to clear this from bottom to top after getting the card key, but at the same time, I'm like, I'd rather, like, not lose the chance for more grinding. Okay. This is the run killer. This fucking fight is the most difficult fight in the entire fucking game. Like, it's genuinely, like, horrifying. Pidgeot, okay. Fazbear Entertainment is responsible for all pollution. That's actually why everyone's been... Oh my god. No! Oh my... I just had a realization. In Five Nights at Freddy's 1, there is... one of the newspapers says that the murderer of the missing kids, or the suspected murderer, was tried and convicted. Which means they are not in the story. Utah is a state that has the death penalty. So that means if either Henry or William got convicted, they would not be alive. They would be dead. However, we do know that there is, in fact, an entity in that universe where its primary goal and objective is killing and looking like someone else. The Mimic went to jail and got killed. The mimic pretended to die of a lethal injection and got away. Fuck, I hate the mimic. I hate the mimic. But that would be incredibly funny. We could just bulldoze over every plot hole of this series by putting the mimic right in it. The mimic. The mimic was executed. Question is, was Utah using lethal? Probably. It was like the 80s. Are you sure we didn't get the shit? Oh my god. No. The mimic got the chair, but it only made him stronger. It only made him stronger. It only made him stronger. They didn't know what to do. He got supercharged and became the ultimate mimic. The mimic. Okay, you still have a Growlithe at this point. That's okay. It's like the shit Metal Sonic does in Sonic CD. True. This is accurate. Okay. Alakazam. Alright, Juice Box, it's up to you. Calm Mind! No! No, 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 no. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Future... Oh, God. Oh, God. That's death. Something is dying. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh my god. About to send in Venus a Freddy branded electric chair. That's why they got away with it. That does exist in the movie. Future Sight, don't die, do not die. Yes, it's base like 150 right now. Okay, thank God you ate that. Isn't it a shred chair instead? Yes! Yes, it is. It would definitely do the same purpose, though. Okay. We did it. We beat him. Okay. That Alakazam is terrifying. Lapras! Oh my god, okay. You think the military uses Springlocks for torture in the FNAF universe? So, there's two options to respond to that with, which is the image of the U.S. military deploying Freddy Fazbear, or the image of, or the video of Ennard attacking an attack helicopter. One thing I appreciate about Five Nights at Freddy's is, you know, it shows, like, a realistic level of competence of police, where they were unable to find bodies stuffed into animatronic suits that had been there for, like, at least 30 years. And they were just never found, and this happened multiple times. Like, that is the most realistic depiction of United States police officers possible. The only thing that's not realistic about it is that some other child would die in the process because of the police. You know, that's probably actually what happened to Charlotte. We don't actually, like, the body somehow didn't impede the animatronic movement. Yeah, but according to customers, they smelled like shit and were oozing. But the police just didn't care, which is entirely accurate. The police, if they were like, well, we couldn't find anything when we looked for 2 minutes. Well, nothing for me to do. I think it is entirely like the person who killed Charlotte Emily in that drunk driving accident. It was probably a police officer. that had nothing to do with William Afton at all. Like, Henry was just wrong. It was the police the entire time. Ignore the blood trail. Yes! I love the fact you, in frickin' Five Nights at Freddy's 2, you literally see dead bodies on the floor and, like, trails of blood, and just, like, nothing happens. There's nothing. They're like, well, it is unfortunate. Suppose we'll file this one down as natural consequences. This is, in fact, an act of God. Henry, you know I didn't do that one, right? It'd be fucking stupid for me to target you. Do you think I'm an absolute fucking moron? That one wasn't me. I didn't do shit there. It also explains why later that night afterwards, it doesn't make sense, like, for that to be the Aftons that much. It was just a completely unrelated, like, fucking domestic abuse situation from the cops. Yeah, that checks out. You know, I'm gonna be honest. Submitting a new theory to Dawko, the fucking, the police, the ACAB fucking, theory. You think since he's from Utah, William's a Mormon? Now, hold on. This provides new information that we had not yet considered. And Scott Cawthon is very religious. He made a lot of religious films. So I'm thinking about this. It's like, you know, in lore, William Afton is probably Mormon. He's well liked in his community. he's seen sort of as, like, an upstanding figure. You know, like, based upon, like, how, like, people treat, like, Michael Afton in Sister Location, they probably think he's like, oh, you know, this is just, you know, a nice upstanding dude like his dad. They probably go to church regularly. Huh. But then that leads to another question which we hadn't considered, which is, obviously, you know, like, Elizabeth is favored over Evan and Michael. So, does this imply that, like, Elizabeth's mother was, like, the chill one, and, like, the other one's kind, like, is divorce allowed in Mormon society? Did William Afton lose his wife in one of his wives in the divorce? And, like, you know, he was still with, like, Elizabeth's mom, so, like, he was more chill with her? I still kinda, like, it's, you have to stretch it a bit. You do. They can get divorced? Okay. Listen, I don't know. Some religions are very weird with that. When it comes to, like, a lot of people after Secret of the Mimic, had the idea that more likely, hold on. Like, that it is entirely possible that Fiona, Edwin's wife, didn't actually die. She just, like, cheated on Edwin with William. And given the fact that David looks a lot like Evan Afton, it's entirely possible that David just, like, wasn't actually Edwin's kid to begin with. Has William had coffee canonically? This make or breaks the theory. Hold on, let me look at the Sister Location bunker. Sister Location... No! You see, the cup that is in the Sister Location room is very clearly a soda cup. It's not coffee. And there, you know, in spite of the fact that realistically there would be coffee in these locations for the adults, there just isn't. William Afton's a Mormon? This is such a Soul Link coded conversation. Both playing Pokemon. We are in sync. There you go. Huh. William Afton might be a Mormon, canonically speaking. He might... Okay, there was a 3-year-old post on Reddit about this. About asking if William Afton's a Mormon. Said the show's a joke. I don't think Scott is even a more. He's not. He's Christian. Okay, I need to look into Mormonism now. Wait, no, this is checking out. Mormonism includes the significant doctrines of eternal marriage, which means that William Afton would be upset if a wife left him, and that could end up being taken out on his children. Eternal progression, after death, some people reach the highest level of salvation in the Celestial Kingdom, can know his family, become gods, create worlds, and make spirit children over whom they govern. That is essentially what he is trying to do on Earth. Okay. Baptism for the dead. Religious practice of baptizing a person on the behalf of one who is... Uh-oh. That checks out, too. Fasting, he lost a lot of weight in the books. Like, he used to be very fat and then became very skinny. Oh my... No! William Afton is... The man behind the slaughter is Mormon. In 1830, Smith published the Book of Mormon, which he claimed to have translated from ancient writings found on golden plates. They're golden. In a hill, an angel showed him the location of the plates, buried in a nearby hill. Buried in a hill. William Afton's house is on a hill with a massive underground labyrinth where all of his religious studies are happening. Imagine you're in Gary's position, you just gotta wait while your opponent starts talking about Mormonism. Well, luckily we've already beaten Gary, so we're fine. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. That would be William, Michael, and Evan. The Father and Son are perfected, glorified physical bodies, as in they're immortal. The Holy Ghost is a spirit without a physical body! Yeah, that probably. That's not related. I'm looking through all this. In Mormonism, life on Earth is just a short part of eternal existence. Yep. All people existed as spirits or intelligences in the presence of God. God proposed a plan of salvation whereby they could progress and have a privilege to advance like himself. Spirits were free to accept or reject this plan, and a third of them, led by Satan, rejected it. The rest accepted the plan, coming to Earth and receiving bodies, understanding they would experience sin and suffering. Mormons believe that one purpose of earthly life is to choose good over evil. In this process, people inevitably make mistakes, become unworthy to return to the presence of God. Mormons believe that Jesus paid for the sins of the world and all people can be saved through his atonement. Earth is one of many inhabited worlds. There are many governing heavenly bodies, including the planet or star Colobe, which is nearest the throne of God. Okay. Does this mean the Mimic has adapted Mormon doctrine? Yeah, probably. Like, realistically, yes. White Horse Prophecy? Sorry, I'm still... I'm not even a third of the way through this. Okay, I've now looked through all of it because a good third of it was just a whole bunch of citations, which makes sense. Yeah, no, I now fully believe William Afton is in fact Mormon. We've cracked the code. This is definitely very important to FNAF lore. Yes. Totally. I'm emailing Steelwool as we speak. I've figured them out. They don't know shit. I know everything. Like, I figured it out. The jig is up, Steelwool. The Mimic is Joseph Smith from the Church of Latter-day Saints. What's in the box with a family photo in the Book of Mormon? I mean, to be perfectly honest, I feel like what's in the box is fairly, like, reasonable on what it kind of... According to Scott, what was in the box has changed over the years. In my personal opinion, what makes the most sense to be in that box were most likely medical records and toys. Just to put away the memories of Evan. But yeah, of course, it has now been changed for the Book of Mormon. You know, they do... Edwin does depict William Afton as a snake in the Garden of Eden, which in Secret of the Mimic is like what leads Fiona to her death. Oh my, yeah, this is starting to like really like... The pieces are coming together. You have thoroughly convinced me of this. Edwin is just a regular Christian. See, this is why he died. No one liked Edwin. You know, with the existence of, like, the Fredbear Singin' Show thing that implies that it existed, like, all the way back in the 30s, do you think at some point there was a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, or something of the like, that was run by William Afton and was segregated? Does this mean William wants on a quest to all gather 5 pieces of Christ to bring fortune to Fredbear's? It seemed a very... I was reading that entire article and I was like, oh yeah, Araki was definitely basing part 7 off of Mormonism. I'm looking at this, yeah, he took a lot from this. Canonically, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was the last part of the United States to ever be desegregated. Especially considering Latter-day Saints was segregated until 1978? That's why he didn't like Michael. Because Michael had a black friend. Like, in the FNAF 4 minigame, one of Michael's friends is black, and canonically, William's least favorite child was Michael. You were right, the racism was important to FNAF this whole time. God. Where was William Afton in the 1940s? William, what did you do? Matt Pat just never thought of Mormonism. That's weird, because isn't he, like, from the Midwest or something? I don't remember. Fair enough. Oh god, Ferris might be dead. Self-destruct is bad. Okay, never mind. We ate that. Thank you, Ferris. That is the first one of our Pokemon that's managed to live a self-destruct from an Electrode. 2 of them died. To be fair, did you think Mormonism would be relevant until today? No. But you feel like Matt Pat, who is, like, clinically insane and has been studying FNAF for a better part of a decade, you think he would have thought about, like, any option. Because, you know, they connected Minecraft to the Quran. Like, I'm surprised it didn't come up, frankly. Does this count as sacrilege? Afraid to anger Mormons, I guess. I feel like he was in theater. Especially during the time that he was in theater, he probably performed the Book of Mormon, the play. Oh my god. Well, we're gonna be in hell, and, like, the dude next to us is gonna be like, oh, what are you two in for? And we're gonna have to say, hey, you know Five Nights at Freddy's? We started equivalencing the bad guy from Five Nights at Freddy's, with the Book of Mormon. Was already gonna be there. Well, you and I are both gay as far as I'm aware, so yeah, we'd probably be there. It gets us out of military service, though. Evan has yet to respond to the William Afton is Mormon claim, and I don't know if it's not that he hasn't read it, or that he's just, like, thinking to himself, just like, why? Do you think conversation who the Illumination should be serving for the 2000? Oh! Oh, fuck! Oh no, you could make a good argument in multiple ways! There's multiple... Yeah, exactly. Do we think... Like, if we trace this back far enough, do you think there was, like, some sort of, like, predecessor of William Afton who was at the signing of the Declaration of Independence? And I say this solely so I can say the phrase William Afton Miku Binder. Illumination wrote themselves into a corner with the prequel movie. I'm here to exploit it. Yes. Yes, they did. Do you think the minions helped William Afton? They conveniently put them in an ice cave for the 40s to leave them up for grabs in the Vietnam War. Well, yeah, the minions definitely worked with America during the Vietnam War. Minions best friends with Dick Cheney? Probably. Hi, Vibrant Toucan. You came in here at a time that just, like... not ideal. This is, like, a level of conversation that only works for, like, 3 people on Earth, and that's me, Gesapina, and Evan. I think... getting super into FNAF lore on whether or not William Afton was Mormon and how it affects the story. Very insane. And then whether, like, who the minions would follow in any given conflict. Oh, man. Not ideal. Not ideal for, not ideal. Do not ask the minions what island they were on. Too far. I think we've hit the point where we can say too far. It's about the limit. I think there is a hard limit, and I think that's it. I think you've hit the limit. Okay, assuming that both Fazbear Entertainment and Playtime Co. exist in the same universe, are the minions working with Fazbear, or are they working with fucking Poppy Playtime? Which one do you think? Minion Civil War? The most competent part of the Confederacy were the fucking minions. course, they were the most commonly literally... Minions can't die? I didn't know that. So, like, are all the minions, like, always the same? Do the minions, like... Can they reproduce? Like, are there ever more minions, or is it always the same minions? What fucking creature is a minion? That is, like... The existence of minions must, like, they've got to be in history books. Like, they have to exist. Do people know what they are? Like, what? What? They fought for Napoleon, although I think that history was lost. How... Also, vampires are real in Minions lore. What? Did Minions spread the plague to South America? Oh my god, if Minions have been around all that time and they, like... Oh my god, they must be festering so much disease. If they can't die... If Minions can't die, they must have every single disease on them at all times. They're a cognito hazard. Or no, a biohazard. Cognito hazard is, like, mental. Oh, God! Oh, no. Resident Evil 10. Oh my god, it's Wesker coming in with an army of minions. Minions infected with the Ouroboros. Oh, God. I've found a species that shall rival humanity. The ascendant species of the minion. Wesker turned himself... Banana. I do appreciate that Resident Evil 9 gave us a Wesker who slays. Literally, we've invented a second Wesker who is somehow more gay than the original. Isn't that just regular Wesker? That's true, exactly. Enough of your silly games. This dude's been hearing us talk for the past several floors, and he's just going insane the entire time. Just like, stop fucking talking about minions. Stop it. Stop talking about Mormonism and William Afton. Oh my god. Honestly, I think talking about minions might make us go to hell faster. I don't know about that. Like, that... It's just Minions. I used to like Minions as a child. I thought Despicable Me won. I liked Despicable Me 1. I thought it was a good movie when I saw it as a child. This also implies Minions help the Romans crucify Jesus Christ. That is true. Oh, man. It's not my fault, it's Illumination's fault. Yeah, you're not wrong. You didn't do this. You didn't choose for the Minions to be created. Somewhere in my house there is in fact a 2-foot tall plush Minion that I won at a boardwalk. They deliberately did a retcon to make a prequel and these other cars, but yep. Yep. The Minions killed Jesus. The Minions can't go to heaven or hell. They can't die. Like, do they all they know is sin. Did the Minions make humans eat the forbidden fruit in the Garden of... Oh god. Everything bad in the universe happened because of Minions. Literally everything bad is the Minions' fault. Like, that is Satan's army, isn't it? They can't. It's literally the same Minions from the Stone Age. Yeah! Yeah! The Minions killed everyone! Oh god, the Minions have to suffer with the knowledge of, all of their friends and family for a literal, fucking centuries are dead. Do you think, I guess... They were put on the planet before humans, so Satan could have sent them. You could make an analog horror series about Minions. You could. This sounds very, this is so close to, what's that one fucking, the Mandela Catalog, I think it's called? I think that's the one, at least, that has, the religious, tie-ins to it, of how, all religion on Earth is, was created by an entity that was not, we are all worshipping wrong, everything we're doing to worship actually leads us closer and closer to damnation. Which is also, a very cool concept. Gotta admit. It also reminds me of that one Tumblr post that's just like, mid-debate, Biden reaches hyper-lucidity, announces, "We've been burying them wrong." Such a good post. I love that post so much. Oh my god. This is a very Tumblr conversation. You're not wrong. You are not wrong in the slightest. How are you still alive? The minions canonically killed Dracula. Okay, now, is Dracula different than Vlad the Impaler in this universe? That's my question. 'Cause, like, if you think about it, like, Dracula is based off of Vlad the Impaler. Like, his whole deal. It's an actual vampire who dies from the sun. There is no answer on whether or not that was true for Vlad the Impaler. We don't know. Dressed like Universal Dracula, so probably a different guy. Okay, that's fair. That is, you know, that's probably, you know, good indication. Cool, I found a dragon fanning. Nice. Okay. So, you say dragons. I'm now wondering, because clearly, like, ghosts and spirits exist within the FNAF universe. If they exist in the FNAF universe, then theoretically, are other, like, mythological or religious figures in existence, like, you know, in the FNAF universe, did dragons exist? Did Jesus exist? Like, are dinosaurs real in FNAF? Freddy Fazcross. Freddy Fazbear crucified Jesus. Master Ball! Let's fucking go. Theoretically, we could catch Zapdos immediately, which would be really nice. I'm not going to do it right now. I think that's, like, last resort option. To be fair, according to William, he survived. We're gonna find out that the springlock mechanisms are what killed Jesus Christ, and it, like, was, like, divine knowledge given to William Afton. Like, this is the tool that will create his ascension. how does this fit into Funny Valentine's plan? I think, realistically speaking, like, it does fit is the issue. Like, I hate to say it, it does fit. Alright, let's see if our good friend Obro can take on any psychic type. Slowpoke. I swear when Steel Ball Run anime comes out, I'm ignoring the rest of the parts for later so I can see Jesus talk to Johnny Joestar. That's fair. Shit. In George Joestar, the spin-off one, Dio's stand, which is also called The Passion, just like Jonathan's, is Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ is, like, guiding Dio's hand. And there's 25 cars on Mars. I figure because of the whole reset thing, it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, Part 7 is in a different universe than the rest of the parts beforehand. Afterwards, like, Part 7, like, exists in the same universe as 8 and 9, but they're not super duper connected. Isn't it technically the same universe and time was just cyclical? No. It is a different universe than the original. The cyclical aspect of Part 6 is different to... Part 6 and its multitude of resets still exist in a separate universe from Part 7, because Part 8 has different characters in Part 4. All I know is Araki is fucking insane. Yeah, and he's a vampire, so he probably has the minions working with him. Araki is one of the least sane mangaka that's also, like, somehow still normal. I respect Rocky for saying, Yeah, I can't really consider the story. The villain wins, future parts will be in anthology style. The villain didn't win. Like, it's... Part 6... Part 6's ending is not just the villain winning. That is a very, it's a very, like, small look at it. Because it's not about... At the end of the day, there is a lot... I haven't actually... You should watch it. It's probably, like... You will get it when you watch it, is the best way for me to describe it. You will understand why many people say this is the best of all of the JoJo parts. I don't personally subscribe to that, but I do think that is the ending that fits the most with JoJo as a whole. And I think it makes sense as to what the series was leading to. I am still sad about it, to this day. JoJo's anime could have done something very interesting, because there were little secrets and, like, references to Part 6's, Reset Universe within, the early parts of JoJo. And because, like, in... like, the original opening, it started with Jolene. So, I was just like, oh my god, they're going to do a thing where it's... the entire thing is, this is already the Reset Universe, and we're going to see a different ending from what actually happened, because this universe has already gone through its reset. And I thought that would be really cool. Obviously, it doesn't make sense, but, like, it doesn't make sense to do it like that. I think it would have been fucking awesome, though. And at the time, I was like, Araki is definitely the type of person where he would do it. He would 100% do something like that. And I think it would have been a very cool concept. I understand that, like, very clearly, like, you know, it doesn't make sense for the average viewer, but I think for people who love JoJo, I feel like they would have gotten a kick out of it. Nah, he releases that shit on his deathbed. Who knows with how he does stuff. He could. Araki does strike me as the type of person to genuinely continue working until he is dead. Everyone would have to go on a One Piece style search for the ending of the original universe. Yeah. Okay. Good job living, Obro. Obro, you did a great job. Ironically, talking about JoJo has made the conversation more sane. That's debatable. I do think it's interesting how Pokemon's Slice of Life Pokemon... I mean, how Nintendo's Slice of Life Pokemon game exists in the aftermath of fallout of war and, like, creating, like, a new society after... like, after the bombs have dropped. And, like, criticizing war in general. And for some reason, dipshits online are just saying shit like, oh, hey, look, good news, Kanto's gone, no more Kanto, everyone. Kanto's been eliminated from existence. It's like, guys, like, you are literally reading diary entries of a child who is leaving his Pokemon, like, in the box to keep them safe because they know that they'll still exist when they won't. And just like, alright, I'm glad that, like, you're able to read, like, a diary entry of, like, a child who is facing the reality that their whole life is going to be destroyed, that they are going to die, and the last thing they choose to do is make sure that all of their, like, loved ones are okay and will live. It's just like, cool, I'm glad you're making this about, like, instead of having it be a commentary on the horrors of war, like it very clearly is, you're just making it into a dick measuring contest over Pokemon generations. Okay, man. This is why I think that we should never re-release Gen 5. I think Gen 5 should be removed. Apocalyptic Solar Punk Fallout. Yep, it is... It's Fallout Pokemon. It's Fallout Animal Crossing Pokemon. How do I get to the center spot? I cannot recall at all. Come on. No. God, fuck, where? To be fair, most of these people have the reading level of a fucking walnut. That's not incorrect, but I also do think that's offensive to actual walnuts. Where am I going? Where? Where? How do I get to this fucking spot? No. This is not where I should be. This is not my beautiful house. Letting the days go by, let the water... You're kidding me, right? Does this mean Dittos would be recreating the human race? Oh man, I am not qualified to talk about that. Probably. Like, realistically speaking, yeah. Oh my god. I'm stuck. Okay. Nope, I'm not. I'm doing this right. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Top right. Top left. Bottom left. Bottom left. Thank you. I honestly didn't know Pokemon Company had it in them for that, but I respect it. Still not buying a Switch 2. At some point I'll probably buy a Switch 2, but I don't, like, feel the need to buy it right now. Like, probably for Pokemon Wind and Wave I'll get it, but I specifically want to get, like, a bundle, you know? I want to be like, you know what, I'm gonna get the Pokemon bundle that looks cool and pretty. Not buying that shit full price, that makes sense. Oh, goodbye, Oboro. Well, you did a good job through the rest of the gym, so I was honestly hoping that you'd be able to sweep this. Okay. Looks like we have to lock the fuck in. Uh-oh. 07. Don't even bother, honest to God. Did we miss Fly? Dippy. What the fuck, dude? You don't need to 07. Oboro was genuinely... It took me, like, maybe, like, 15 minutes to grind them up. It took no time at all, I'm gonna be honest. Are you fucking kidding me? Wait a minute. Hold on. Also, I misclicked. I tried to do quick attack, but... I think Dippy might, honest to God, be dead with Future Sight this time. Oh, it failed. That's good. How did it fail? Exactly, I don't know. Okay. 1 Kadabra down. 5 more to go. Mr. Mime. Alright, Juice Box. Going to Super Potion up Dippy. Barrier raises your defense, which is fine because we have a flamethrower. I also mentioned it before. I'm really happy and excited to see the new Sword Art Online video game. Seeing the comments around that by people online is some of the most frustrating and annoying shit in the world. Like, stop getting all of your opinions. Stop getting literally every opinion you have ever had spoon-fed to you by mediocre YouTubers who are pretending to be Japanese. Stop. It's a good fucking series. Pick up a fucking book. Oh no, the anime adaptation only it cuts out some of the, like, introspection and instead makes it just, you know, have beautiful fucking animation. Oh no, so sad. Like, yeah, it still is a good supplemental thing. Read a fucking book. Alakazam, you psychic. I'm scared of this. Oh! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, we got a problem here. Okay, I need to see who has our highest special defense stat. Okay, it appears to be Flippy. And we do have the most water types available, so if Flippy is the one to go down, it's not going to be, like, the saddest moment, even though I do love Flippy and they have been carrying us through most of the fucking game at this point. Miss. Oh, I didn't pay attention to how much anime fans can't read. This is known. This is very true. Okay. I need this dude to not hit Psychic. I need him to hit Future Sight. Let us have a clean fucking, like, hit. And then we hit Strength. And we hope to God it dies. I need a clean turn of healing. Because even with the Quick Claw, I cannot, like, guarantee it will live and go first. Like, please. Use Future Sight, you dumb piece of shit. Stop using Psychic. It's a crit. There goes Flippy. Alright. That one is a real 07. That one is 100% an 07. Juicebox lived. Let's fucking go, Juice. Let's fucking go. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's why they call him the Juice. God. Oh my god. This is not where I want to be. This is fine. This is a way to get through as well. Man! Okay. At least, you know, Obro I was expecting to not make it through, I'll be perfectly honest. Flippy is one that I am definitely sad about, because I do love Gyarados. And they put a lot of work in. Man. Oh, we did just get a Lapras. Lapras isn't bad at all. Okay. So, we do have a lot of different Pokemon as options. So, before anything, I'm just gonna... see. So give me one quick moment. Anime fans are so goddamn hard-headed that when I Bridget said because I'm a girl, they went, "Nuh-uh, doesn't count." That wasn't the perfect arcade mode ending. Yeah, and the funny thing is, they don't have perfect or bad endings. It just, you know, isn't, like, normal. Like... Okay. ending is technically different in Guilty Gear depending on how you do, but it has been canon for years that all versions are canon in some way or another. Oh! I didn't know that aspect of it. Okay, so I now have a list of all of my Pokemon on the team that I can look at very easily. So now we can look at what we have in the box and decide on it from there to have the most balanced team possible. So, the last two gyms we have are Fire and Water. No, Fire and Ground. Why did I say Water? And then we have Ice, Fighting, Ghost, and Dragon. Okay. So, when it comes to a reliable water type that would be good against the most things, let me... I'm going to quickly check Vaporeon. Now, you say that. That's not a terrible option, now that I think about it. I do like Vaporeon a lot. Plus Vaporeon, we can teach Ice Beam and stuff. Like, it would be pretty good. It has... Vaporeon also has better stats than Tentacruel, now that I'm looking at it. It has lower speed, but it has really good HP. Apparently today is Gardevoir Day? How did they determine that? I didn't vote for that. Golduck. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of leaning either Vaporeon or either Vaporeon or like Psyduck, because having additional typings like Ice against a Fire type gym doesn't help. And then we have Ground type gym, which, you know, Water type is always good against. That's not a problem. And then against Ice, we do have, we actually don't have anything to counter Ice types right now. So I guess what we would want to counter Ice types would be Electric or Rock. And our options for Electric are Magneton or Jolteon. Or we can get Zapdos. Because right now we have 3 Pokemon weak to Ice. And that's not ideal. Although, looking at this right now, there is a type that we have that would indeed be good. Wait a minute, hold on. I just remembered something. We have had a Mankey that has been sitting as we have been running back and forth all over God's green earth this entire time that could very easily become a Primeape. It's not Goku. I forget what his name was. Which is mean. But I also do genuinely... I have forgotten what his name was. Son Joku. Banana. 18 levels. Okay, I'll take that. What level are you? 32. That's not bad for us. Seismic toss, cross jump. I mean, we could teach him Brick Break and he'll be completely fine. Hold on. Mankey evolved at level 28, by the way, so that's good. But we did get Cross Chop, which is good. Cross Chop is fucking amazing. And we got it early, so that's good. Damn, I really could just shove some of my Pokemon in the daycare instead of doing it myself. In all fairness, I forgot about this until just now. So you know what? I think adding Banana is not a bad idea because, you know, fighting type isn't bad. It does overwrite learned moves. We didn't have any moves that mattered on Banana at the time. So I guess we're going to have okay, so I can't do that because I don't know where I get another Dragon Claw TM. Yeah, don't do that. Bad idea. Okay. Now, what the real question is, what do we want as the water type? And I think we're going for Vaporeon. Could shove Badoo in there, though. You could! That's a good idea. My heart is telling me to get this Vaporeon. I'm gonna be honest. My heart is telling me it's the correct call. That Peach here yearns to become the water type. Vaporeon is gayer, which is good. That is true. Alright. Let's head over here. Buy a Water Stone and a TM for Brick Break. And, unfortunately, Badoo evolves via friendship, so it'll probably be easier to level myself. That is, unfortunately, true. Wait a minute. We could make Goku, I think. Hyper Beam is physical in this game. Which means that on Primeape, this would hit like a fucking truck. That's a lot of money, though. I don't want to commit that much money to it. Maybe. I'll think about it. And just so I can, you know, Of course, grinding is going to be off screen just to save everyone's time. Rare candy on banana, that way you can see them evolve. Liquid Snake doesn't really have any super valuable moves. I could put him in the daycare. That's your Gyarados, right? I don't think it really, like... The only thing it needs is, like, Waterfall, and, like, then you win. That's basically it. Alright, and we get the Vaporeon evolution, too. Da, 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 da. I don't have that yet, but he will be underleveled if I want to use him for Elite Four. That makes sense. So just put him in the daycare. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. I think we got the team set up. I think we know what we're doing here. So, hell yeah. Alright. Lots of love. Talk to you later. See you next time.